Hello world. It is yours truly, G. Cole, from Homegrown G. Cole. Just want to invite you to the Love Doctor series. We're going to talk some things. Yep, just what he said.
I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby.
You heard what he said. We're going to talk life. We're going to talk love. We're going to talk relationships.
I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby. Just call me anytime.
Yep, call me. Listen, I can't bring old boy back. I can't bring old girl back. I don't know what you did. Maybe it is you. You know you got an attitude sometimes. Grandma always said if you're gonna cop an attitude, make sure you can cook. You gotta balance it out, but your grits is off. You know what I mean? Your rice and peas, it ain't there. Fellas, I'm just saying, sometimes it's y'all be tripping, acting like you're in the man in these streets. I'm the mediator. I'm just devil's advocate. Don't blame me. I can't do nothing more than just hear you out. It's the Love Doctor, baby. I'm here.
Damn! I say you're never gonna get me down. Oh no. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. It's such a blessing to be alive in this world that we all reside. And you can call it to what you want to. I just love my chilling time. I get a thrill like every day, sitting here and watching the children play.
What up, fam?
A book and I tell them stories.
Got a dope convo for y'all today.
Hear the
It's a vibe, trust me.
and every time somebody greets me,
Just trying to let you know.
I take it easy.
Tell your friends to tell their friends.
Now, how you feel?
Join us right here.
You say it was a pleasure meeting you. Peace of mind.
Easy.
Boy,
Brand spanking new tune. Peace of mind is a holiday. It's yours truly, G. Cole. Gotta value this thing called peace of mind, alright?
oh no.
People going crazy out in these streets.
Peace
Crazy.
of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. It's such a blessing to be alive in this world that we all reside. And you can call it to what you want to. I just love my chilling time. I get a thrill like every day, sitting here and watching the children play. I read them a book and I tell them stories. You should hear the things they say. And every time somebody greets me, says hello, I take it easy. I say hello now, how you feeling? You'll be safe, it was a pleasure meeting you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. There's no reason to get upset. Jah says to do your part, and He's gonna do the rest. Don't hurt your heart, it only causes stress. You may not realize it, but you're truly blessed. And I know sometimes it's hard. You've worked all day and you don't see rewards. Come on, my brother, let down your guard. Aim for the skies, you might just reach the stars. I know it's money that you're trying to make, but if you're tired, you should take a break. It's not worth it if you break down. There's just a way too much at stake. Take a vacation if you want to. Spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, I said I wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and some time with the ones that I want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, J. Cole just wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this,
I want to big up everybody listening in
just blow
Radio Land.
away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this,
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole. He's got a heart of gold.
Sticky situation.
Sticky.
Risky situation.
Jay Will and the Raps and Kush Band. Album is called Love Your Life. Big tune, man. Large Up Shutter.
Sticky situation.
B Will. Can't forget.
Risky situation.
J Bass. Vinnie Hamilton. Jayot. Raps and Kush.
Got myself in a sticky situation just the other day. I met this fine girl at the train station, said she lost her way. Before we knew it, one thing led to another. We were both undercover, bedrock and pillow jamming all night. Next thing me see a broad light. She said, hey, hey, Jay to the well. Love the way you rock my body, cause you got skill. Keep it coming still. Her desires got fulfilled, yeah. She said, hey, hey. Sticky situation, risky situation, no lie.
I had to take it from the top for y'all, man.
Sticky situation,
Vibes, vibes, vibes.
sticky situation.
Did I say vibes, 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 vibes? Yes, I am.
Got myself in a sticky situation just the other day. I met this fine girl at the train station, said she lost her way. Before we knew it, one thing led to another. We were both undercover, bedrock and pillow jamming all night. Next thing me see a broad light. She said, hey, hey, Jay to the well. Love the way you rock my body, cause you got skill. Keep it coming still. Her desires got fulfilled.
Wagwan Linden, California's rocking with us.
Hey, Jay to the well. Love the way you touch my body, ooh, you give me chill. Keep it coming still.
What's up, Alvin?
Her desires got
Great to see you all, man.
fulfilled. We did her thing, then we started conversating. Said I gotta go now, cause my baby's waiting. And sure enough, it's gonna be a fight. I know she's wondering where I've been all night. Oh no, I ain't getting in that mix. Ooh, I'm feeling good now. Said she got it fixed. Jay, I wanna thank you for your love and tenderness. But before you go, give me one more kiss. Jay's to the well. Love the way you rock my body, cause you got skill. Keep it coming still. Keep it coming. Her desires got fulfilled, yeah. She said, hey, hey, Jay to the well. Love the way you touch my body, ooh, you give me chill. Keep it coming still. Keep it coming. Her desires got fulfilled, yeah. Days went by, still reminiscing. Looking all around because my driver's license missing. Damn, what could this be? I hope it's not a tragedy. I hear knock, knock, knocking at my door. 6 in the morning and my wife, she's still a snore. I tiptoe to the front door.
What up, Steve?
Knocks I could not ignore. Me hear she shout, hey, hey, Jay. Oh, she shout out. The way you rock my body, cause you got she shout out. Keep it coming still. Her desires got fulfilled, yeah. She said, hey, hey, Jay to the
What up, Lawrence?
the way you touch my
Clementine, how's it going?
keep it coming still.
Violet, how are you?
Desires got fulfilled.
I love y'all, man.
Got myself in a sticky situation just the other day. I met this fine girl at the train station. Said she lost her way. Before we knew it, one thing led to another. We were both undercover. Bedrock and pillow jamming all night. Next thing me see a broad daylight. She said, hey, hey, J to the well. Love the way you rock my body, cause you got said she want keep it coming still.
Hey Annette, how's it going?
How
are ya?
Yeah. She said, hey, hey, J to the well. Love the way you touch my body, ooh, you give me chills. Keep it coming still. Her desires got fulfilled, yeah. Hey, hey, J to the well. Love the way you rock my body, cause you got skill. Keep it coming still.
This is Wayne Wonder saying J Cole, legal businessman. Bang, bang, boom.
I mean say this a protege, eh? Homegrown with G Cole, what you say, eh? We make them know what reggae music we a play, eh? Hey, this is Protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it, ease out.
And we say them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked nor wild like we. Accurate, Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G Cole. Keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kali. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. It is Homegrown with G Cole coming to the massive and crew live across the globe. Got to pick up everybody listening in from near and far. All those people listening in Radio Land. Royal Zion Highness Radio Lodge up yourself. Real Vibes Live. Much love. Everybody listening in on homegrownwithgcole.com. Those people listening in Rubber Ranks Radio. Everybody, man. Lodge up. My UK fam. California, everybody. Got to pick up those people watching live also. My YouTube fam. Them say me abandon them all the time. Never that. My YouTube people. Much love, all right? Those people watching on Jamaicas.com, those people watching on the Homegrown with G Cole platform, all right? Tell your friends to tell their friends to join us right here. It's going to be a vibe. Got a dope conversation coming to you. It is, of course, another in the installment of the Love Doctor series, all right? And, of course, what we do, we just have conversation with those people who are, you know what I mean, more educated in the realms of the single world than I am. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the knowledge. I ain't got the power. I've been out the game for however long, you know what I mean? Trust me, I'm an old guy. I'm the old guy. Consider me the old guy, right? So I'm just trying to, you know what I mean, get a little bit in on the inside, get some info, share that with you. All right, but of course, before we go any further, got to take a minute, of course, to big up everybody, all my people on the doing what they do for us, all essential workers, we call them, frontline people, nurses, doctors, paramedics, first responders, those people working in the emergency rooms, pediatrics, everybody, radiology folks, right? I got to big up, of course, my mental health professionals. Like I said, firefighters, the good law enforcement professionals, the trash ones, fire phoner, all right? Today's show, of course, comes to you courtesy of Scented Delight Candles. All right? Again, I'm telling you straight up, I'm a candle guy now. Natural wicks and the whole nine. Smells good. All right? Burns for up to 72 hours. I knew nothing about candles. Now I do. All right? Got nothing but brownie points at the crib. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me show them the box. And watch out. Smell good, baby. Ooh-wee. You know what I mean? I ain't even, the one I see that I got in the studio here, I don't even light it. I just open it up in here and just scent up the place, you know what I mean? One of the dopest thing about this one, outside of the fact that it comes in a dope box, and trust me, fire, is that it comes with a lighter, a branded lighter. Now, there's two things with this lighter for me. I can never find a lighter, so I'm able to light my candles, right? Left hand. When I light a candle, I use my left hand. The other thing that allows me to do, too, is when big tune I play, my left hand, you know what I mean? But the other thing it allows me to do is burn a fire upon the crosses, people. So I say, let's talk about good law enforcement professionals. You say fire one and we turn it down and when it comes down. You know what I mean? Straight up. Boom. Fire, lighter, phone up. Burn up. Right? But we got a vibe coming your way, man. And of course, got a special guest in the building. DJ Kevin Stew from the Stew Pot, from kevinstew.com, from all them things, right? Matter of fact, first thing I'm going to do is let him tell you all the places he could be found, and then we're gonna get into this, you know what I mean? Some real convo, some real vibes. He's a real brother, you know. Very insightful, very knowledgeable on this single thing. I don't know Jack. He does. He's teaching me, you know what I mean? Just in case stuff goes left and I end up in these streets, I know how to carry my weight, you know what I mean? What up, Mish? Well, I go on, kick up, large up, large up, large up. You know what I mean? It's always good to get a professional. Me? That's what I believe in the professionals. Bring them all out. I can't build a house, bring the professionals out, right? That's what it is, man. I can't paint the house, bring the professionals out. Want to learn some stuff about the single world? You bring the professionals out. And that's what I'm doing. All right? So like I said, tell your friends. Tell their friends what time it is. Big up everybody over there, Reggae Global, large up on the cell phone. Everybody. Like I said, tell your friends to tell their friends. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. Know what I mean? Slide off a little bit like this. Like this. Like this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Homegrown with G. Cole. DJ Kevin Stu is the guest inside of the building this evening. I'm going to flip things around because I know y'all ain't come to see me. I ain't stupid. You know what I mean? I know what time it is. DJ Kevin Stu, I know what time it is.
Chill.
You know what I mean? Fans in these streets. We call them fans in these streets. Welcome to the program, sir.
Much respect.
First of all, it's a joy to have the iron of the building, you know what I mean? As always, it's always a joy for a reason with the iron, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have our share of our off-air reasoning.
Could be dangerous. It could be dangerous. Could be very, very dangerous. Let me first of all, like I said to you earlier, I've had some conversations with the ladies before, you know, the series started. And some with the fellas, right? The ladies do like to make it seem like, say, there's a barrage of great ladies running around these streets. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of angels running around these streets. And a bunch of demons running around.
Which ones are which?
In overalls, right?
Which ones are which?
The ladies are the angels. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because as kids growing up, what are we taught? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice.
Sugar and
nice,
spice, right? Everything nice.
What are little boys made of?
That's why you get diabetes.
John Noah Star. Kill him, kill where I'm from. We young. Frogs and snails and puppy dogs' tails. You know what I mean?
But yet still snails. You're talking about delicacy.
John Noah, brother, escargot. And depending on which part of the country you go, spring chicken. You know what I mean? And puppy.
And everybody love puppies.
And I'm just saying.
So, how it go?
Yeah, we got, and guess what? That's not the truth, but we got to swing it that way for our own, for feel good about ourselves. You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen,
well, it might not be true for you.
I'm just saying, bro.
It's true for me.
I'm just saying. Before we dive in, let the masses know where they can normally find DJ Kevin Stu.
So, KevinStew.com is the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stu. I am live 10 to midnight, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I am also broadcast or simulcast on a few platforms. One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio out of New Jersey. One Harmony out of London, England. NIE out of New Jersey. Island Worldwide out of New York. Reggae Pulse Radio out of Long Island, New York. The Foundation Radio Network here in South Florida. WGLRO out of Texas. Allowap Radio. And Dusick Media Group also out of Texas. So, all those platforms. But of course, just go to kevinstew.com and you're there. You can watch me live on kevinstew.com. You can listen to me live on kevinstew.com. And the podcast and the YouTube links are also there. So you don't have to go anywhere. Go to kevinstew.com for everything. Present shows, past shows. One-stop shop.
I love it. What up, Red Fox? How you doing? Oh, Lord, Red Fox said, thanks for the heads up to hear this conversation. Boy, they love you. I'm straight up, because I mean, they love you. You know what I mean? There's a lot of folks that are checking for DJ Kevin Stu. It ain't me. Obviously, it can't be me. DJ Kevin Stu.
Yes,
getting in, there's just a couple of, but I got a couple of questions that I generally ask everybody in this series that walks through the door and sits in those chairs right there, right?
All right.
Or should I say
Let's go.
Chair right there?
Let's go.
All right, because again, for my own enlightenment, my education, or whatever the case may be, are you single? Are you a single man? Because I want to make sure you're qualified to speak by them thinking. Are you a single man?
What do you mean? No, me one you see.
But Jano, I mean, we need straight answers, man. The fans are out here, man.
Are you seeing doubles?
Are you alone, Missy? So does that your way of saying you're single?
I'm a single man. I mean, one you see.
Man say I'm single. So DJ Kevin Stu is a single man coming in the place. Are you dating? That's the second question.
You know, you can't just ask them random questions.
I'm just saying I got a couple.
Because here's the thing. Not to me.
Not to you.
Not to me, because you ask me a question and I go several levels down.
Oh, snap. Go ahead.
You know, I live by certain words, you know. I live by my mantra. Have acceptance through enlightenment. And so you ask a question. Now, there's a reason behind the question, and you ask the question to get some insight into something.
Amen.
All right, so cool. So let's go deep.
Let's go.
Am I deep? Am I dating? Even when I'm married, still dating.
Even when hold on. First of all, either there's a school out there where me no know I'm not go, but you and Garrett look like gonna graduate from the same academy, right? To some degree. I mean, one on a head boy, one on a prefect. So you're saying even when you're married, you're still dating. But I guess what it should be is this. Let's define dating, because you're talking about dating in terms of if you're with a significant other, you still do your date nights and you whatever, right? Or are you saying when you're married, you're still dating other people outside of the realm of that relationship?
Oh, well, those are two different things.
Right. Because,
so
and
I'm saying, even when I'm married, I'm still dating, because you don't just know somebody. The process of getting to know someone doesn't stop. And dating is the act of getting to know someone.
I hope you got to know him before you married him, though.
Do you ever?
I mean, there's people are growing and people are ever evolving. But if you marry somebody you don't know, you deserve whatever is coming your way.
No, you marry somebody that you're comfortable with.
No. That ain't enough for me. I'm just
because you're comfortable enough to get married to that person. The other people you weren't that comfortable with to get married to them.
Not for me.
You're still learning your wife.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not comfortable. I'm never comfortable with the others when I married them. I just didn't want to marry them. It had nothing to comfort. Like 500,000 reasons. 1, they weren't marriage material. 2, I ain't like them that much. You know what I mean? 3, crosses. 4, just wasn't up to it. 5, I didn't want to get married. I can get a host of things. None of them was my comfort level.
So, you mean say? Them did come to you and you list out a bunch of things why you wouldn't get married to them. So
why I didn't, not why I wouldn't, because it's not like it's room for change. Why I didn't.
All right.
Ain't no room for change, baby. Ain't no room for change. You know what I mean? Large up, Joanna Marie. Large up. Julian Lee. What's up? So okay. So we've clarified the process of dating, right?
Yeah.
It's no different from the word people. People can be, them people can be all of them, right? Furniture can be the one, furniture can be all of them, right? So we clarifying stuff right now.
Cool.
Dating within your marriage or so forth. Okay, cool. I don't even like that word as it relates to you're already in a relationship. You don't continue dating. Dating, because if dating is what you do to figure out if you want to move to the next level with the next person and with somebody, right? Getting to know somebody. You get married, you do whatever. Whatever you do after that, it have another name. We probably don't know what the other name is, but I don't like to still refer to it as dating, right? You cook your food. After the food done cook, you might be doing other things there, but you're not still cooking, right? It's in your plate, you cook some avocado, you do some this and that. You're not still cooking, you're done cook, right? So realistically speaking, I get where you're coming from. We're gonna have to find out whatever the word is. But we're talking about dating in terms of single man out in these streets, dating because you're not in a committed relationship.
You're talking about individuals trying to
not
connect with
you. It's DJ Kevin Stu. I remember that the question was, are you single?
And I mean,
and you're single. You define that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the question is, are you dating? Are you actively dating right now? If a girl like DJ Kevin Stu and want to go out on a date with DJ Kevin Stu, are you?
We can go out.
You can go out.
We can go out.
Cool beans. I love all that. What to you is dating though?
That is same thing where I was, same place where I was earlier.
Not from the marriage part.
Is
as a single man, what's dating for a single man?
Me getting to know you, woman. So the process of us getting familiar with each other, that is dating. Now, when you go a little bit further and ask, so how long does it take for you to date someone before you can say you are in a relationship?
Air quotes.
Because that's another ambiguous one, you know.
What, relationship?
What?
Talk to me, Kevin. Talk to me. Remember, I'm unenlightened here. I'm out the game. So you're teaching me.
So watch me now.
Talk to me. Ambiguity.
How long have you and I known each other?
It's been a hot minute. But if I say they'll know how old I am.
Oh yeah, try some.
Let's just say prior to the first album. Prior to the first album. Nah. It's been a while.
So now, would you say somebody ask, boy, you know, how long you know Stu? Would you say, boy, you know, we've been in a relationship for about
Clean up the argument.
Exactly what you would say, right? However, in the very true sense of the word, in all innocence, in all purity, this is our relationship.
But let's clarify the thing real fast, right? Is sometimes we have words where we place and how we place, right? So people do I have a relationship with DJ Kevin Stu? Yes. Do I have a relationship with a whole bunch of people out there? Yes. Am I in a relationship with them? No, right? so it's kind of how you phrase the thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't be holding in this.
It's like, boy, you know, I love you, you know, Bertrand. I love you, you know.
I got love for you.
I'm not in love with you, you know.
Or you know how men do it nowadays? They be like, I got love for you, dog. I got love for you, dog. You know what I mean? But when it comes to dating, I get almost two different perspectives from the men and the women, right? Mm-hmm. The men. Let's start with the men. Okay. Men treat it as a fishing hole. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're dating, you're out here, you date. However, you just whatever's out there, you enjoy yourself. You go. If something stick, right?
Right.
As I talk to the ladies, it's kind of the same, except when you talk to them long enough, it sounds like they're auditioning for spouses. You know what I'm saying? It almost sounds like it's an audition for spouses. And a lot of times, I personally think that kind of leads to problems because you already got an end game in mind, and you're navigating your way to the end game. So you may get there the wrong way, get there with only one leg, but your goal is to get to this end game, which is a relationship.
Right.
Which I don't know if it's the same for fellas, right? Again, out the streets, right? So for DJ Kevin Stu, when you're going out on these dates with these fine honeys, right? Because I seen them out in these streets. These chicks ain't no joke, right? Ugly girl on their road again. Ugly girl on their road again, right? So
the creator is
so I know you're having a ball out here, but talk to me about the whole process of dating. What's dating like? If one of my homegirls say, yo, I want to go on a date with DJ Kevin Stu, what's a date with DJ Kevin Stu like?
Boy, it varies from time to time, from person to person.
Mad.
There isn't a one size fits all. You can't. With me, a date could be, hey, there's this park up the street that I wanted to go check out. There's a nature preserve that I wanted to walk. And you want to roll with me? Date. There's this movie that I want to see. Date. There's this place I want to go eat a food. Date. There's this event I want to go to. Date. So
damn near everything's a date.
The more important thing is what you do with each other. Because ultimately, it's about the two individuals. For me, it's about me and whomever who is out spending this time together. And what the connection ends up being like. One, as we are there in each other's presence. And two, when we're about to depart from each other's presence. Because if that connection stay alive as we separate, then there's a second outing or a fifth outing, as the case may be.
So does that mean that you're on the same trajectory in terms of you're trying to see where this goes? Is Kevin Stu just dating like because I know people, and I remember when I'm single.
Serial daters.
Yeah, I ain't got no goal here. You know what I mean? we just kicking it. We just dating. We just having a good time. Do whatever the case may be. There is no end game. There is no phase 2. There's no phase 3 to this. There's no ultimate relationship. It just fall off on a cliff. Just drive, drop our ground, right? So are you saying that pretty much because based on what it sounds like you're on that same trajectory as they are in terms of, feeling out the situation and see where it goes, if it goes into something. Are you ultimately, when you date somebody, looking for something, and are screening and making sure that this person's compatible? Or are you just kicking it and having a good time?
A little bit of both. Ultimately, you do want to have a good time with the person that you're spending time with.
Right.
Is the end goal to say, boy, this is all I want, and if this person don't check all of these boxes, I can't get that. Now, not to say that you're not supposed to have certain checklists that this person should meet. There are certain requirements that we all want that person to have. And for the sake of preference, for the sake of waking up in the middle of the night and either looking at a picture or turning over and seeing the person and saying, yes, I'm good.
Right.
And you can go back to sleep in peace.
Right.
Whatever that is, you go out, you enjoy your time, you connect. The important thing for me is that connection. Am I going out just to make sure that I can find a wife? No.
What about girlfriend?
If you are worthy to and can maintain this relationship with you and I for time T, I won't say what that time is. If you are cool not saying what that time is, but you know that you and I, we are in this. This is what we're doing. If we're going to go get a house, we sit down and talk about it. We're going to go get a house. We're going to get a car. We're going to sit down and talk about it. We're going to get a car. Do I want to get married again? No. I've been there. I've done that.
So DJ Kevin Stew is not out here trying to get married to nobody.
No.
In the name of Snoop Dogg, we don't love them how. No, I'm just saying. You're saying.
And it doesn't have anything to do with love. What's love got to do with it?
I'm just saying. So okay.
Joanne, have a question.
Larger Peter.
Here, I look at this chat and see that I have a question from Joanna Marie. Big up Ed Robinson. Much love.
Joanna Marie has a question. Joanna Marie, I tell you what. Generally, we save it till a little bit later, but I'll open up the phone lines now. The number is up there. I don't claim to know it off the top of my head, but I'm gonna read it to the masses here. And like I said, generally in the second segment we take the phone calls. But if you got a question for DJ Kevin Stew, 954-372-5453, 954-372-5453, or even the direct line, Joanna, if you have it. We'll open up these lines for you. All right. So DJ Kevin Stew.
Yeah, man.
You just talk about the whole dating thing, right? Do you think, because men are from Mars, women are from Venus, they say, right?
As long as men are find nobody from Uranus, everything good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Wait.
You can't
Heart of gold.
Couldn't find it. Yo.
The Arsenal.
Arsenal did it, brother. The even though one of them is good. Okay, so what's your question session now, Carlene?
All right, type your question. You're not Carlene. Okay, we understand.
Jano, Ed, big and serious still not. Yes, I must say, ugly girl in the road again. It's a challenge. You're more likely to. It's just levels of fineness. But everybody fine out in these streets. It's available. You call the right surgeon, doctor. Do switchy, switchy, boom, bang, bang.
No, they have outfits for that now.
All outfits here, makeup, lashes, whatever.
Don't go to the lashes.
I'm just saying. The awnings.
The visor them not gonna work.
It's a chop. Let me ask you this, Kevin. When it comes to dating, right? Do you find that when you go on dates with people, and I said dates, pluralizing it in terms of, especially if it moves from one date to maybe a second date, a third date, whatever the case may be. Do you find that expectations are different in terms of what you are in this date for and what you're looking for in this date? When you find out what the other person's looking for in this date and so forth, are you normally on the same page, or do you find that 9 times out of 10, no?
Sit down. That's a question I'm going to have to review. I'm going to have to revisit. Because, Does it change? Boy. Yeah, man, I have to go check you back for that one day. That one takes some thought.
Right.
Some deep diving.
Right.
Seriously.
Large of yourself, Empress Unique. So good to see you. No, all right, cool. We keeping it going. We keeping it going. Again, on the whole topic of dating, right? Like I said, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. 9 times out of 10, we're seeing things on two different planes, 2 different trajectories.
Right.
Is there such a thing? And believe it or not, independent of the show and the show topic, I've seen this thing come up to today. Is there something as 2 people dating too long without it moving to the next level? Or can somebody date? Huh?
What is the next level?
Relationship. People say it's like, yeah, dating is the first 5 floors, right? They all look the same. The rooms are the same size, no suites, right? But past the 5th floor, relationship floor, suites, things change. You know what I mean?
What are change to?
Robes come with the room, right? So it's just the whole vibe change. Now you're in a relationship, exclusivity, words like exclusivity come into play. Seeing that one person, dating only that one person. Because while you're just dating somebody, as far as I'm concerned, as far as these people have taught me, educated me in the last couple of weeks, you can't date multiple people at a time because it's not an exclusive committed relationship. Is there such a thing as dating too long without it going to that part of being, or that level of being an exclusive relationship, which is what they call the next level? So I've been educated by my previous guests.
Now, you're getting into a realm where you have your pen and paper already, because it's a whole different class altogether.
I record it. I'll record it.
All right, so in the world of relationships, wait, is it specifically for me, Kevin Stew, or are you talking general?
No. Right about now, what I love to do is make you the expert. So once you sit in that chair, the class is yours. I'm the student and so are they. So you are the professor right about now. So yes, let's personalize this as far as you're concerned. Is date from your perspective, not the general populace, because then we're gonna have to ask them. But in your eyes, is there such a thing as can we date can date forever? Or is it just that after a certain point you gotta kind of move on to the next level or let it go? Or are you down for dating forever?
Here's the thing with that. Because different people see this whole relationship in different lights, this whole dating thing, different ways. It's difficult to say when you let it go. 2 individuals dating, I don't know. When it depends on the individual that you're dealing with. Is it after you have sex that you are now in a committed relationship?
No. As far as they say, no. It's just
so
it doesn't become a committed relationship until the 2 people decide that it does. Because you could be, as you're dating, as far as, again, they've enlightened me, you do not have to necessarily be dating exclusively. While you're going through the dating process, you could be dating multiple persons. They could be dating multiple persons. The process of dating can include sex. So some people will be giving it up. Some people might not. Depending on the chick you meet, she might end up on, we're not getting nothing because we just a date, right? Or we've only dated once or twice or thrice. You know what I mean? Floozy Jenkins, on the other hand, Floozy give it up during dinner. You know what I'm saying? So
why she have to name Floozy?
That's her name. I'm taking it up with her mama. You know what I mean? Taking it up with her mama named for Floozy Jenkins. So the rules there are different. But in terms of what the relationship is and the committed relationship is when the 2 people decide that, okay, I'm only seeing her and she's only seeing me.
Okay. The individuals in that situation need to define what commitment and committed, as it relates to how they have do relationships. They have to decide on what that means for them. Right. So they have to come to an agreement that, all right, for me, doing a relationship means it's just me and you. Or, for me, doing a relationship means it's me and you, but if I see somebody else out there, I make you know so somebody else out there.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you get kicked off of the boat. It just means that
make room for somebody else on the boat.
Understand? Say it's not a canoe.
I feel you. So the boat just the size of the boat got bigger.
Right.
It's a pontoon now.
Right.
Nice. Okay, I got you.
So it all depends on how the individuals in play see and do relationships. Now, there are some schools of thought that say if it's not a canoe, then it'll sink. That's when you get a real relationship. And some people say they want a relation bike because the ship have too much people.
Man, I feel you. I feel you. I'm learning.
But now here it is. There are some people that feel that if somebody else come into play, then clearly you don't love me. So we can't be in a relationship. Okay. So what the next person have to do with it?
Let me make sure I understand. Again, if somebody asks me afterwards, I understand. Kevin said me can't understand. So pretty much what you're saying pretty much is this. Relationships, as we see them, maybe old, outdated, antiquated, downright just wrong, because a relationship ain't necessarily a bind. It's not necessarily two people. So I guess sometimes where we can be wrong is assuming and thinking that the concept of a relationship is supposed to be two people, right? Whereas a relationship could be multiple people. It could be you, her, and her. It could be you, her, and him. It could be you, him, and her. Or you, her, and him. But you're still in a relationship, and there's a certain level of commitment to the
parties involved.
The hub. So how does 5 people remain committed to 5 people?
Well, it depends on the 5 people.
But it can be done with the same level of love and respect for each other.
I've seen it done. I've spoke to people who have done it.
Right.
And I currently know people who are doing it successfully.
Now, is this success graded from both ends? Because here's why I ask this.
When you say both ends?
Both parties involved. Because the relation, all right.
Okay.
There's a hub here. As with everything else, there's a hub, right?
Right.
Your internet and everything else. There's a hub and then the branches.
Right.
So we spoke about you and this person. And then now, only down a boat, not a canoe, because like we said, canoes ain't got space for what you planning, right? Right? So we got a big boat, and then down the road now, you see somebody out there, and you bring them to the boat, right? But the hub was you and her, first 2 people, because you people were together first, right? So now you bring somebody else on board, another lady coming on the boat, right? Are you able to equally love and respect both people? Is the goal to equally, or is there levels to it where person number 1 is like that's the primary, and then everybody else knows the subsidiary, and I'm not continue there.
Again,
person number 1 is a parish. Person number 2 is a town.
Again, it depends on the individuals involved in this relationship or these relationships. And this is where now you sit down and you have this. The phrase goes around quite often these days: open, honest communication. And really and truly, that's exactly what needs to happen. And it doesn't really matter if it's a monogamous relationship or a polyamorous relationship, whichever way you want to do it. If you're a swinger, if you are into serial dating,
right.
Ultimately, bottom line, if you want it to be successful, open, honest.
Right.
Boom, boom.
Right.
And the challenge with open and honest is, 1, getting open and being honest.
Open can be an issue. Open can be an issue. I'm just saying. Open. So I'm just saying. Loose.
People could see your face right now.
Large up Martin man of the Clementine, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm harmless, okay? I am harmless.
Oh, Clementine said that's just messy. What was
I don't know what. I don't know. It ain't me though. You know what I mean? I'm harmless. Suzette says, yes, Kevin, you're now talking my language, which I think, because Suzette has been participating in the show for a while. Yes. The whole concept of the polyamorous relationships, the polygamous relationships, and all them good. She's good with it, right? And she's saying it's popular, it's out there, right? And I don't disagree that it's out there. I don't disagree that it's popular. I don't think it's as popular as we'd like to think, at least within the scope of our communities, but it did it.
I'll address that in a minute.
And For damn sure. And Martin, large up yourself. Julian says there are different kinds of relationships. Problems come about when the parties involved don't agree on what the relationship should look like. Now, I like that. And what that leads me to say is this. Suzette says, yes, open and honest. It eliminates people cheating and getting hurt. Now, here's what my observation has been from the few people that I've seen embark upon these circuses, right? So I'm going to say what my observation has been. And keyword is my observation.
Yeah.
When I have a relationship independently with these people, and I have a conversation with each person independently, and I have a conversation with each person collectively. With the collective, I realize then and there that there's a presentation and then there's the realities. The reality of it for me is this. The two people, and I'm just talking, I don't claim to know a bag of people living like this. I know 3 people who are participants in this, right? 2 men, and they're not in the same thing, but 2 dudes that I know and 1 chick that I know, right? When I had the opportunity to sit down and speak with the significant others, the main parties in the hub, right? Because to be perfectly honest with you, when we talk about the polyamorous relationships and the polygamous relationships, in our definition, most times all 5 of them not living in the same house. It's 2 of them, right? And then you have a girl or 2 or 3 also, and she have a man or 2 or 3 also, right? But it's not like y'all have a big combine and all on a living night, right? We'll leave that to the other ethnicities, right? So I'm just saying. So what I find when I speak to these people is this. They're never exactly singing from the same page. And somebody, again, only speaking about the ones I know, somebody's in it under duress or in it because they got pulled into it, in it because them don't want to mash up the family, because 9 times out of 10, well, those 3, so that's 100% from what I'm seeing, they have a family. So the 2 people have a family, wife, husband, children, right? This polyamorous relationship or polygamy obviously is being kept under the low because it's not in the household. The kids don't know about it, or so they think. Right. So you're going. So him gone off, so gonna check who him need to check. Right. And she gone off, so gonna check who she need to check. Right. Now the fact that you're living open relationship should mean that you don't really question what me do, I mean not question what you do. But they always seem to be conflicts. It causes conflicts because people feel like other people are getting more attention. People feel like, them turn the side piece. Right. Because you do find yourself in situations where somebody gets more attracted to somebody out there than the original person them start with. Them end up more, it's almost like more committed out there. So, because here's what I've seen happen in one relationship. It's almost like the person sleeps with the outside person more. It's like how the inside man that probably be a little jealous and want to regulate how much time you spend with the man out the road. It's almost like the man out the road that regulate how much time you spend with the man at home. But the crazy thing is, I think it's because of the newness and the freshness of that outside relationship, or the fact that you're probably not too in love or feel the person at home that much anymore. The pendulum is shifting and the weight is going. So is it really, really logical and to say that it's as harmonious as we want to paint these pictures of these polyamorous and polygamous relationships, as far as you're aware?
All right. Let's get down into it again. The people that I know, I mentioned earlier, with a successful relationship, they all live in the same house.
Oh, snap.
That's the first thing.
Last name Jenkins? They black? Hey, McLeod.
Not this one. Not this polycule.
Okay. Well, that's got a name.
Yeah.
Shit.
Everything has a name.
Apparently so.
It's just that not everybody know what the names are.
Mud.
One, they either don't take the time out to figure it out, or 2, they just Don't know. They haven't been exposed.
I feel you.
So here it is. They live in the same house, and it works for them. There is a family that have been doing this that I communicate with. I haven't met them personally yet, but they have a family unit. It's the man and his 2 wives. They have kids all in the house. Kids know what their life is. So it really boils down to the individuals in the relationship and how they communicate. And which is why I said the difficulty in open and honest relationship is getting open and being honest. Because of how we're conditioned. Typically, the family structure is 1 man, 1 woman, and they have 2.5 kids and a dog. And that's the family structure. Anything outside of that is an abomination. The reality is, well, the other type of relationship has been in existence long before this 1 man, 1 woman thing ever came about. So well, when you dive down into it and you look at the history of it all, it is what it boiled down to. When you look at the history of marriage, and you look at the history of monogamy, when you look at just the history of civilization as we know it, there are things that have changed over time because of the time and the leadership of the time, what was necessary.
Right.
And so when you get into this way is right, that way is wrong, or vice versa, there's no right or wrong, but there's a right way for the individuals in the relationship. And so when you start talking relationships, you have to be very careful, because you and I would do relationships differently, but we both have love for the people that we're in these relationships with, and that remains a constant.
That's how you go.
Well, if
I only got but so much love to give, but that's just me. That's just me.
And that's just fine.
My stuff's limited.
That's fine. And your wife is glad for that. Because when you don't care if you're loving, you don't no more forget nobody else.
I'm just saying, brother, tap. But let me ask you this, though, Kevin. Let me ask you this, because I hear. Well, you know what? Let me get to a couple of comments first. Red Fox said, "You, me, and he rotted."
Yeah, man, the three of it. Let's do it.
Tracian says, so we are attracted to the physical appearance first, then based on their initial conversation, and this is back to the whole dating process she's talking about.
Wait, Susan, sorry to interrupt, but I can message her. Susan, know the people.
Then bring them on now. She said, then you can decide on if you want to know the person more, decide to go on this date. From there, you decide if you want another date with the person, then you decide if both want to be exclusive. Should I explain the thing properly there? So, then you decide if you both want to be exclusive. From there, based on your priorities, both should say whether they want a commitment leading to marriage or not. I guess end game there is marriage. But what I've found is that the men, John, no, see, I know some shall delete everything from commitment. No, me no, trying Tracy. I joke, I'm a friend. What I've found is that the men that I've met hear what my standards are. They play along until they can't anymore, and then I want to part ways, and they think because we've come this far, I should just stay. Just selfish. Loosely translated, Tracy's not giving up a thing. Give up the things.
Hold on. Greg, G. No, you were supposed to look on the camera, right?
Don't worry about it. You want the people to say my
I'm catching me. No.
Keep them better on me. Teresa said, I believe feelings will get hurt because one person is going to outdo the other, and the preferred person will get more time. She's speaking about the whole the polyamorous situation, right? Then here, Julian says many more are, and I think this is facts, many more are in a poly relationship without knowing they're in it. The part of it that I think is not facts is that it's not a poly relationship. People get bun. That's what that is. That's not a poly relationship.
Yeah,
right?
If they don't know that.
Clementine, you know the thing already. Suzette, of course, validates what you're saying. She says, "You're right, Kevin. They all live together." This is the voice we use when we read Suzette comment. "You're right, Kevin. They all live together. New name is Tripod. Check out me, Bay and Jay on YouTube." Right? Yes. Heather is my very my very good friend. I was part of the wedding. All right. Here's the thing. Now I'm gonna ask you, and you can tell me, because this is what I see. Ladies who are not of the poly culture, who have yet to be indoctrinated, will probably see with me on this one, right?
Okay, let's go.
Every time I hear somebody speak of those relationships, those homes, the poly homes, right? Let's call them poly homes.
Yeah.
I don't like the word tripod, right? So tripod ain't working for me. Poly homes is what I'm gonna call it.
All right.
Right?
Go with it.
You just mentioned that you have this man and them 2 wives and what else? What else in the household?
Their children.
And their kids, right? How many kids?
It's what, 3 in the house?
3. So we got 6 people in our house, which is 1 man, 2 wife, 3 kids, right? How is the reception to this kind of thing the same when the woman said she wants she and 2 man and those things? So you're if you in this poly relationship, right? You and your woman in a relationship, right? You're game for the poly relationship, and she is too. And the reason I'm going down this road pretty much is what I've found, again, 9 times out of 10, let me say, somebody indoctrinates somebody, right? It's like sprinkling some crack on the stuff, you know what I mean? And then you get them hooked, right? So somebody brings somebody in. 9 times out of 10, both people don't just walk in saying, "Hey, let's make a community activity out of this," right? Somebody want to draw the rest of them in, and it works, right? Are you as receptive if old girl says, yo, you know, some of that politics, but I ain't mean that too. I say, all right, so what you know? I'm me and you and Trevor, you know. As a matter of fact, I'm me, you, Trevor, and Steve. Are we good with that? Since poly is what we do, and the definition of poly is not based in one way or when the gender-wise in terms of how much people are man and how much people are woman. So she want 2 dudes, 3 dudes up in the crib, right? And you, are we good with that?
People see me with me and
yeah. You good.
So if I'm in the what's your name?
Same thing. Clementine, I think the same thing too.
Give me a name for her now. Don't say Jezebel.
No. let's call her Keish. We're urbanizing. Let's call her Keish.
Okay.
Keish.
Because someone will like delicacy around here.
Cool, man.
So I am in love with Keish. And Keish say, yo, still Trevor. Steve. And who else? And me?
Blacker.
I'm Blacker.
And you.
Blacker around the road?
Yep. Same Blacker.
All right, so Trevor, Steve, and Blacker from round the road. And I'm not leave you out of the mix still now. But I'm in love with Keish. Well, be in love with Keish. So, Keish, how much cotton am I investing in?
She have the Costco pack. She got a Costco joint, so that ain't an issue. 942 in it, and that's because she gave away a couple.
When me gonna meet Steve and Trevor,
you can meet them
and
now.
Blacker.
They probably outside.
Bring
the
them
parking
over.
Lot. They probably in the parking lot right now waiting for
Bring
the green
them,
light.
come meet them.
So you set up to her right now, and by the time you say, so you boop on the door, because she send them or wait on the text, and the text say come. So right, they pull up and they come through, and y'all sitting down.
Yeah, man, make us sit down. Let's sit down and talk. So you want to deal with Keish. We like both her. Why you want to deal with her?
But hold on, them not try to deal with you. So how come all these questions come into play? Because here's a question: when it goes the other way, does the woman get to interrogate too?
Because here's how the questions come into play. Because I'm in love with Keish, right? So if Keish is important to me, then what happens to Keish is important to me.
Keish is good. She grown, right? She grown.
What happens with Keish is important to me because it also affects
later on is going to be
me.
a train. But I'm just saying is that Keish,
well, if
Keish is good.
She go run train.
But the thing is, the thing is, Keish.
But we have a talk.
Yeah, and I feel you. But my question is this: it doesn't sound though that Okay, enough to talk. Them just love Keish. Keish are good. The same quality that you see in Keish is what them I tell us I'm seeing in Keish.
Okay, good.
What's next? Are we a happy family now?
Well, we move on from there. You see, what you're looking for is a layout of what happens when something like this happens.
And actually, no, I'm looking for the balance. I'm looking for the balance because
well, the balance comes with the individuals that are in play.
Okay. So the five owner.
How they find this balance.
But they good though. This is your woman. That's what I'm saying this is your woman.
My woman. My title.
Yeah. Are you and her that are coming to the relationship, Are you and her living at a house? Right? And and because of the fact that she find out, say boy, I realize, say boy, yo, you're done. Because here's what happens sometimes. People bring up this poly thing to people. And I think a lot of times when they bring it up, they're expecting the person to be hesitant, right? You expect it. Most times if you bring it up and say, boy, yo, this woman up on, they expect the hesitation. They expect a little stiff arming, some abrasion, right?
Right.
And then you're going to sell it or you're going to do whatever the case may be and blah, 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 blah. And one of two things are going to happen. Either the person going to buy in or they're not, right? So, but you decide, say, boy, you mention it to Keish now. And you're probably expecting, I could probably sell this to Keish. But Keish is like, nah, baby, you ain't got to sell nothing to me. I'm down. I got these 3 dudes that we ready to roll right now. They like me. I like them. Love you, whatever the case may be. But again, you and her are the ones in this relationship. You got mad love for Keish. You love Keish. Keish loves you, right? But polyamory and being, polygamous is cool, and that's what we're doing. So she is down with it. But she's bringing her 3 dudes in. She not stop you from bringing 3 girls later on, So it may end up being 9 on. I don't know how y'all gonna fit that. But the thing is, big O's. You know what I mean? But as of right now, it's Keish, you, and them 3 dudes. So my thing is, are you down? Are you cool? Is it a go?
So this is where this is where I say bring them come because now, all right. This our bill. Let's build.
Oh yeah.
So how much you contribute to this bill? How much? How you stay with your car note? What you look for a job? I know somebody,
So the man them sound like them there with you too.
Well, it is not really that them there with me too. But if them with somebody that I am with. What them must suffer, because here's the next part of it. If Keish and I have children, and something is going on with this child, I go away on a business trip. It's just Keish. She needs help with the child right then and there. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters not available.
Well, if first of all, first things first, if this child got 4 daddies, she is or he is entitled to have problems. So he gonna have problems. Either way, just call a spade. He gonna have some issues, right? So but the thing is, if you're all in this relationship where you got 3 other men living at your house, that you're comfortable going to bed at night, closing your eyes on them in the house and no worried about them hurting you or hurting her or hurting the kids, right? Then obviously, you should be comfortable with her calling one of them if you want at home because it's well on in a day. As far as you say, they're all on a day. I want back a baby father in here. Just the only difference is that you are the biological father. But the whole on a day in here, so unless you're gonna set it on paper, say you're only here to have sex with Keish, but you're not messing with my children, which makes no sense.
And that's just it. That's what I'm saying. It's not about just sex. And people. When you're getting into relationships and the building of relationships, this is where that open, honest discussion comes in and recognizing what it is that you're getting involved in. Are we just in this for a good time? It's just for a roll in the hay? Or you build something?
No, they're building.
And right.
But
so
if
you're building,
the question, and you mentioned you going out of town.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you got 3 other dudes there, so you ain't got nothing to worry about.
But this is what I'm saying. there shouldn't be a cause to worry, because that's the other side of it. You mentioned the side of, Keisha have 3 other dudes, so 3 of them want to jump up in our belly later on. But
I mean, I didn't say it that way, but God damn. But yeah, Kevin Stu, that's how you put it. That is not what I was saying. Damn. Father.
Yeah, man. You can't ignore the sweetness of the music, man.
It's not that me, say Kevin Stu, all right? I said no such thing. What I was saying pretty much is, I was just making the distinction that it ain't just about the sexual part of it. God damn. But you know what? Let's get to a couple of these, right? So let's say both women have children in the home. Both women bring different dynamics to the relationship. They bought a home together. Oh, she's speaking about a specific situation.
Yeah, me, B, and J.
Clementine says it's not going to work. Someone will be left out. So she said.
But again, that's the conditioning.
That's the condition. That's
the conditioning.
I'm not vouching for that to say, because again, if you say you're both good with it. But here's why I question if we really are good with these things sometimes. And if it's not so much about people's desires and so forth, and they impose it on others. Here's the first thing about it. Everything that happens today, right? We talk about how you're imposing stuff. So in other words, what we have as another word I'm going to use is traditional, right?
Right.
What is traditional? One time somebody wants to do something that's not traditional, they say, then why you force that on me, right? What is traditional? Which is what you're accustomed to see, right? We talk about all this stuff that's been around from whenever, right? And we go to these books that we never knew about until we decided to go research them right now, right? If you want to find a book on unicorns that wear tights and basketball jerseys, there's a book about it. Somebody wrote it, right? And the thing is, if that's what you subscribe to, then you're gonna use it as thesis, and it's the basis for your theory, right? It's in a book.
Works across the board.
Right?
Yeah.
Works across the board. Now the whole concept of what was around from back then, you see, because me never did it, me can't say. And a lot of the things that we are trying to justify, to be honest with you, they're not there in these books. We talk about the Bibles and the this and the that we cast them on. We take a line and phrase it and interpret it how we want to interpret it. Now the books that we find that have the answers for these probably was written by one of the people who wanted to justify the thing back in the day. But again, neither here or there for me to fight that battle, right? But what it seems like to me a lot of times is, most of the times, these relationships are more beneficial to one than the other, right? Now, whether or not they come in John Public and say that is another thing, because again, I speak of these 3 people that I'm talking about, right? These relationships are beneficial to one more than the other. Case in point, one of the dudes, right? Him and a woman tonight, believe it or not, as she bring it to him. Know that they're going on the road and do them thing, right? It almost seems like she's more, it's like she's more into it than he is. So for lack of a better word, he might go through more screening and a bag of more drama and more jealousy from her side of the fence, versus when she's ready to do her thing and get her party on, right? And then the other, and then the other 2 situations, it's the opposite now, where it's the man that kind of brought it home.
Yeah.
And again, the others weren't necessarily they were not. Let's call it spade. They were not, but
let's go along with
them
it.
go along for a couple of reasons. One reason sometimes is they just don't want to break up the dynamics of them family, right? So they'd rather raise screwed up children than break up the children. They worry about them getting screwed up from the family breaking up, But them say, let's just create a harem, and hopefully that don't screw them up, right? So I'm just saying. But even in asking you this right now, it sounds to me a lot like, no, it's not as simple as bring people over. I think a lot of times it's gender based, and for men most times, when they think of polyamory and polygamy, they're more thinking man, multiple women, more so than woman, multiple men. Am I incorrect in thinking this?
When you say no, generally speaking, a lot of people tend to think that is the way it goes, that it is gender biased. I am not of that school of thought.
Right.
Because first of all, I look at all of these things from let's sit down and break down each part of this. I am the guy who like Ed said a while ago, take the fun out of everything and break it down and get into the depths of it all. Because here you have the relationship, and I keep coming back to it. The relationship and the individuals in the relationship and defining what that means to them.
Right.
How does that work for them? And then they take that and they go out and enjoy their life. It's the moment you start to bring other people into it and they start to say, but that is not how relationship work. They're not there. How can they say that?
But do you think other people are out here saying that? Because don't get me wrong, you know, most of the people here, I don't hear them saying that's not how relationships work. What I hear them saying pretty much is that not sound logical. Because here's the thing, the part of it that I think we ignore for convenience is this. Some people say here, people are humans, right? No, you have two individuals in a relationship, and people jealous of a coworker. Talk about honesty. It's not about being honest or not, because your wife not sleeping with a coworker, your husband not sleeping with a coworker. But people are jealous over a coworker. You are telling me, say, you're not going to be jealous over you average physique and the second wife looks like a supermodel, right? And then the third wife look like she a porn star, and you roll up in here look like Roseanne Arnold, right? So the thing is, don't get me wrong, you're all great on the inside. You're all great people. But human beings, don't ever try to take out the human factor. People are going to have their insecurities, right? Now, here again, you brought the sex thing up earlier on. I think it would be erroneous for us to try to act like that doesn't play a part in it. I'll tell you why, right? Is there no connection with sex? When somebody has sex with somebody, you'd like to with somebody they got love for, right? Because you do have some straight up banging on the street. So I clarify
is that whole business, you know?
Yeah. But what happens if, remember, you and Keish from Jumping, it was you and Keish, right? You and Keish to get in a relationship. Everything else is new thereafter, right? You have 3 other men. And yes, you're human beings, right? And you notice when you want to have sex with Keish, you have to wine and dine, or the typical, you know, they say about a married man, you have to plan your thing, you have to schedule, you have to entice, you have to try and make sure so she's in the mood and whatever the case may be. But anytime Blacker say her, right, she ready to go, right?
Has that been your experience as a married man?
Well, I don't involve in these crazy relationships, so I can't speak on it. But I'm just saying. Let's just talk about humor. I'm just saying, if it's a situation where one person realize that there's an affinity to somebody else, and maybe it's not just the personality, maybe they get more pleasure over there from that person, right? So Blacker over there handle his business, right? She just for some reason prefer the sexual compatibility with Blacker is better than it is with you, right? The personal, she may love playing Scrabble with you because you're more intellectual, right? And she may like talking about finances with you because you're a finance guy and you're more smart. But when it comes to the physical chemistry, she a Blacker, she depend on when you wanted to make love to her, you have to go sort out the thing and figure out the thing right. When Blacker said Keish, right? Is that Keish don't know what panties are because she just never happened to have one on when Blacker said Keish, right? So all of a sudden a Blacker thing, right? And then now you come in on a Saturday and be like, hey babe, Ray, and she's looking dead in the answer. I said, Kevin, you don't know some love it still. I would do it. But that boy Blacker done messed me up. Blacker mash up everything else. So truthfully, I ain't good till about next Tuesday, right? Right, and today Wednesday. So she's like, I ain't good till next Tuesday because Blacker done mash up everything, right? Is it just okay, all right, cool, so me check next Tuesday, and don't worry, so make the thing heal. Come you know, so the one Blacker over here go like a man, a maniac. Yeah, Blacker, easy there, man. I want to you. Is that how we rolling? Are we going to be that comfortable and that connected in our poly relationship?
If that is the relationship with Keish, Blacker, and me, then that's how I roll. You have to understand, again, it's the individuals in the relationship that make the relationship work. It's not what anybody else think. It's not what any societal structure say. It's the individuals in the relationship that make the relationship work. And the sooner we get drawn closer to that aspect of relationships, the better off we are having them. Because a lot of us live our relationships based on the model, the TV model, the societal model,
You think so?
the storybook model. Yes.
So to make sure I understand, what you're saying pretty much is the whole concept of the monogamy is just people trying to do what society tells them to do. It's not a concept of that's the norm and then the other stuff is outside the norm and people are trying to pull them outside of the norm. It's not that.
I'm not even talking about monogamy versus polyamory. I'm talking about how individuals interact in a relationship. And it doesn't even matter if it is a sexual relationship or a co-worker or a business partnership. How people interact in that relationship is just off.
Right.
Because again, that open, honest aspect of it isn't there.
Right.
They're not going to come to you and say, boy, you know, you said something to me and it really hurt my feelings.
They're not.
More time is well, I'm not even going to talk to you right now. You get this, and this is what you're looking at. And you're over there wondering, but why am I seeing the back of your head? Oh, what going? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. So, even before you really get to the sex part, make we talk. And the make we talk is beyond, but you know, that's a nice outfit you're wearing there. The green spots on your shirt.
Thank you.
The green spots on the shirt.
Why, thank you, Kevin.
Do they glow in the dark?
They do.
Oh my goodness.
They do.
So it's go beyond that.
But you're saying right now that relationships, and based on how you're speaking of it from the societal norms and whatnot, I get the impression right now what you're talking about is the two people relationship, right?
No, how we act in a relationship.
How we act in a relationship. So here's my question. So if you, because what you're talking about right now is not a relationship issue, it's a human issue. I saw people go on, right? When you vex, you turn your head back sometime too. Let's just call a spade a spade,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So here's my thing. So now you have 5 people turning their head back to you, right? Because at least when you're in this relationship, everybody's still human beings. I said this to people all the time. For me personally, I don't need more than one wife. If I'm a single dude, I could have a bunch of girlfriends, but I can't have more than one wife. You know why? I can't have more than one person mad at me at the same time. I can't have more than one person stress me out at the same time. And all them little things. You know what I mean? And all the implications that come. When your girlfriend can left people, you can break up, you can go and come as you want. So the whole concept of having multiple wives to me, first of all, my accountant would not agree with it. I'm just telling you straight up. My accountant would totally not agree with that.
Right.
But as far as human beings, it's so challenging for 2 human beings or 3 human beings to interact. Then we make it a football team, right? We make it a whole bunch of other people. And again, I'm gonna go to something here that Suzette said earlier. But why is it okay to buy into monogamous relationships but not a polyamory? I am not saying that there's any difficulty buying into one versus the other. What I am saying pretty much is this. Suzette, when you became old enough to have a relationship or have the concept of relationship and thought of relationship, was it polyamorous relationships that came into your mind? I'm willing to bet you no. So the truth of the matter is this, that was not your innate thing. If you ventured on the other side of thing later on, it was something that might have intrigued you or somebody draw you down there, whatever the case may be. I'm saying, when you got in your first relationship, Kevin, you're 7 years old, because I know how you roll, right?
You know, a long time.
I'm just saying, 7.5, right? Running on the bully. I'm sure your concept of a relationship was you and that girl there, right? But of course, we kids. So that lasted 2 weeks until your eyes set on something else. But your intention was not, let's get them all together. So, and I'm saying all of this to say, to justify whatever we want, we always act like it's way more normal than it is. If you want to do your thing, do your thing. Nothing wrong with doing your thing. But the concept of even this whole thought process of why is it easy to buy into one, it's not about buying into one. There was nothing to buy into from monogamy, because that's what you know. You had to buy into the other. So nobody that tried to do that math. That math to me is it's the calculator battery dead, right? Now here's the other thing now. You also mentioned all of these things that we're pulling up from YouTube. If me I go take my thing from YouTube, then there's cartoons on YouTube, there's interviews on YouTube, there's reality TV on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of things to get the views and whatever. So the dynamics that you're glorifying, I said, boy, really, I saw it go, might not be real.
You're talking about the family unit that Suzette mentioned.
Yeah, it might not be real.
I was telling you first about a family unit that I know.
Right, no, I'm talking about that one, right? So I'm just saying, if your reference I come from YouTube, then I'm sorry, I ain't buying it, right? No, you're talking about the one, like I referred to 3 that I know. They're not polyamorous because they're not all living in the same domicile.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, what it really is just an open freaking relationship, right? But the hub is home. 2 people that are me on.
Right.
On occasion, one of the other people might come and one of the other people come. I'm sure them kids are messed up, but that's a whole different thing, right? But the thing is, it's not polyamory. They're not all living in the same home, right?
Polyamory doesn't mean everybody in the same house. You know?
Well, this is just, based on what I'm explaining, it's just a straight up open relationship. I cannot see it because everybody ain't good. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
Them say them good, but everybody ain't good. They know of each other.
There's one thing that I want to address that you mentioned earlier. This jealousy thing.
Mm-hmm.
You ever looked into the cause of jealousy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you've looked into it?
My bad. I was reading Susan's thing. Where is it? My bad. Where's it? My bad.
No, the whole idea of jealousy.
Have I ever looked into it? No.
Yeah. Jealousy comes from a place where an individual starts to compare themselves against another.
Okay.
And whether it is another athlete and someone who is, like you say, have the physique, someone who have money, here comes a comparison.
So,
right?
So your fans can see you. Yep.
Yeah. I'm a dress back a little bit.
You're good.
Yeah. And so the moment you start looking into the why am I jealous, it starts changing things. I'll tell you this. I grew up being a pretty jealous kind of a guy. Jealous to the point where I remember this one time there was a girl that I was interested in. And she knew I was interested in her. We used to hang out a certain way. And I thought, boy, still, the things. Things are going for you. And one day, I saw her rolling with this other dude, and she just kind of ignored me away. And I was like, hurt.
Okay.
Someone so...
That was not jealousy.
No, man. A real jealousy, man, because I did start the questioning. Where him have a meaning of but me look better than him and
But is that really what? Okay, here's the thing.
Here, all right, go on.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
So, I'm jealous. I'm gonna get angry, and I take on myself from not just her but everybody.
I mean, you cause our big foot getting no drop, Merrick.
Yeah, sure, bad face too.
What you mean?
All of that.
Man, a bad man.
Real bad man.
Real bad man. I depend that way. Depend Keish. You take man for coffee. Eh? If you never want me to take from long, then you don't want me to go and eat up wherever.
No, man, that wasn't Keish. I was nuts.
Oh, snap.
Keish cool, man. Keish cool.
Love you, Keish. Here one out. This whole jealousy thing, people talk about jealousy a lot of time like it's something that is something other than the normal. What's wrong with you? Can't be jealous. It's how you respond. It's how you respond to jealousy.
There's nothing wrong with jealousy.
Yeah,
it's understanding why it is that you are in this place.
And do you really need to?
Why not?
I think.
Why not?
Because we clinicize a lot of things, and it's like everything. And this is just this is the G Cole thing. We clinicize a lot of things. Like everything that happens, we're looking for the scientific explanation behind it. But the problem is, I think we're looking for the scientific explanation behind things to justify what we want to justify. So for example, if I come up with a jealous thing, it's not really about me being jealous, or I try to figure out why I'm jealous, I try to justify the jealousy. Right? Especially if it comes from somebody else. So if at some point in time me I do something that makes somebody jealous, then I have this scientific explanation to give them to say, hey baby, this is why you're jealous. Check out that thing here. You're good. Right? There's nothing wrong with being jealous. Now, if that's your nature, your character, and it leads you to do other things, then and leads you to do bad things, then that's an issue. But jealousy is an emotion.
But that bad thing is justified in the action, or
No.
justified in the mind of the person who is
And
doing it at the time.
I don't think when people are jealous and they do ill deeds, they're completely aware that they're doing wrong. It's just that the math is, do I want to do it or do I not want to do it? Or am I going to get caught or am I not going to get caught, or whatever the case may be? But I don't think anybody does anything in an act of jealousy and not know that they're doing wrong. They know what they're doing wrong. To be perfectly honest with you, they would have probably do it for another excuse, right? The person who whooped somebody's ass because they're jealous would have whooped it if they stole their stuff, or would have whooped it if they lied on them, or would have whooped it for some other reason. That's just the nature of what they do, right? It's not the jealousy that made them do it. They're just an ass whooper. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It's just what it is. But Ed Robbins says it. She said, just like, hey, Beverly, good night, good night, good night. Ed said, yo, why we not take the photo out of the thing? So like, so to organize. Oh boy. So I said, just like how two people sit down and discuss likes, dislikes, wants, and needs, so do polyamory. It's not. And again, I think, don't think some disagree now. It's a real thing. It exists. People are doing it. What I'm saying pretty much is, I think, because we're living in that day and age of all of the BS and all this stuff we're seeing coming out right about now, with up, damn, all them things come out and we think that them never did it. I don't think they are as prevalent as we'd like to tell ourselves. They're out there. They're out there, right? But what happens pretty much, we're ignoring certain things to justify what we want to justify, right? Me not saying nothing wrong with the polyamory, but to act as though people just walk through the doors, close the door, and it's like, no. If they even get to that place, they get to that place. But as human beings, you can't tell me say everybody was just good. If you have 5 people in a relationship and all of them good, this ain't their first rodeo, right? And they got hurt on the first, second, third, and fourth rodeo. They're good now. They're seasoned veterans in sharing the stuff now, right? Right? They're seasoned vets in sharing stuff now. But that was not always the case, right? It's a blocker. So they say, you like coffee, I like tea. See, that should like read. There's no discrimination there either. I feel you. Julian says, so DJ Kevin's too. If Blacker keep mashing up Keish, right? It's what she like to do. If Blacker keep mashing up Keish, would you really be okay with that? Or would that lead you to want to bring in Pinky?
Who said Pinky never did it?
Well, that means
because we never talk about
means
Pinky.
you've been dishonest to Keish.
Why would I? We never talk about me and my other relationships. We talk about Keish and Trevor and Steve and Blacker.
Okay. So what? So that does that mean she was right? Is that why you brought in Pinky?
No, Pinky did it.
Pinky did it for a long time.
Pinky did it.
Okay. So you just I hope I'm praying also for no reason does Blacker sleep with Pinky too. Blacker look like I am Blacker the maintenance man out there.
No, if Keish tell Pinky about Blacker and them go link Blacker, then I'm gonna say, yo, Blacker.
You got to go.
Blacker. We're gonna need for you reconsider your actions, you know.
Blacker, you gotta shoot some threes and stop going in the paint all the time, Blacker.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna talk about it. But in reality though, when coming back, so I hope that answers your question, Julian, you know, in some way, shape or form. I'm
going to speak on her behalf. It did not. Right?
But when, you know, let me say this, because I don't want to lose the start again. It had come to me when you were talking just now. And I want to mention this. The way I communicate in a relationship now, I learned from a non-monogamous union. I learned it from people who are non-monogamous.
So you're saying the way you communicate now, you learned from people who are non-monogamous, right?
Yes.
When you were previous to learning all this new way of communication, let's just say when you were in a monogamous situation, right? And subscribing to that theory, right? Would you have been open to hear this? Or is it just that, do you think the same words would have had you thinking different? Or is it no, just that, you know what?
Would I be open to hearing what?
This new way of communication, so to speak. Because based on what you're saying, was there something wrong with the previous way of communication?
Yeah.
What was wrong with it?
I was in a position where, for me, it was supposed to be, it just happened. It was supposed to be just organic. It just, we in a relationship now, you're supposed to know, say, we're in a relationship and this is what happens in a relationship.
When did that happen?
When I was younger, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh, you were 5. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man, in my younger days.
It is. All right. Yeah. All right, player. All right.
Before I became a teenager.
No wonder old girl ran off. Go ahead.
But really and truly, just the way how non-monogamous people communicate in their relationship, I looked at that and I was like, but this is, it's like the 4 agreements. You familiar with them?
Nope, but I'm about to be.
Yeah, you need to read that book, The 4 Agreements.
I'm going to pass on the book, but I'm going to take your knowledge. You tell me what it's all about. Go ahead.
Be authentic with your words. Don't take anything personal. Don't assume, and always do your best. 4 things. There's a 5th agreement which says, be skeptical but learn to listen. Now, the 4 agreements, it sounds simple enough, right? Because it's basic 1, 2.
Something like that.
But how many times do we actually go out there and somebody say, boy, you know, so you're ugly and you take it personal. And you look for the next plastic surgeon because you want a Janet Jackson nose and a Prince body, or, you know.
So does taking it personal automatically lead to that? Can't you take it personal and don't do that?
How many people take things personal and don't do something about it?
Me. You can tell me some crap, I take it personally, don't mean I'm going to do nothing about it.
Well, good.
I can be offended and not doing jack about anything. Doesn't mean I'm not offended. You said something offensive.
Proud of you.
So let's go back to the communication, right? You mentioned how you communicated, right? So how did you communicate? Because here's the thing. The whole concept of assuming what people's thoughts are, mind reading, so to speak. I've never been involved in a situation. Don't get me wrong. Some people are better communicators than others, right? But I will never speculate. People don't speculate and people don't assume. People do what they want to do, and then the excuse they'll give you is that they assumed you were cool with it, right? If somebody does something to you that you don't like, or took something that you didn't want them to take, they knew you did not. When they say to you, I assumed you were okay with it, it's just an answer. It's just applause. It's just the closest plausible answer they could come up with. They're not stupid. They didn't read your mind. They didn't assume you were okay with it. They wanted it. And my answer as to why I took it was, I assumed you would be cool with it. It's a lie, right? So at the end of the day, majority of what we're doing is teaching ourselves how to exist with the lie. Tracy Ann says here, and Tracy Ann say, I know when somebody said, first of all, never trust a man that speaks in Shakespearean, all right? Dust thou. I heard it a while ago. I don't think I didn't hear it, Kevin.
Wait.
You're like, you same one is like, dust thou not. I'm like, what the? Yeah, bruh. Am I lying? Did y'all not hear it?
I went off at Shakespeare.
Did y'all not hear it? Tracy Ann says, I was like, I never trusted nobody that started talking about dust thou not. No. Kevin, come on. You did it. Tracy Ann said, Kevin, come on. You're not going to want to see another man outperforming you and feel okay. There's going to be problems, right? That's what she says. But doesn't it...
Tracy know me from where?
Tracy on point, though. Tracy on point, all right? You're in the gym trying to get swole. But doesn't it stem from the monogamous and people who diverted creating their own? That we don't know. I think I know what you're talking about, Tracy, but that man I know. Tracy said, that's why him never feel no way about Blacker, because Pinky was on the side, all right? And I think Julian agreed with that here too. Joanna had a question for you. Question for Kevin. I want to know, what is wrong with having one woman and loving that one woman? Why have multiple partners in this day and age? I've gone a joke. She didn't say that. She just said in this day and age. All right. So that's Joanna's question. Answer Joanna's question, please.
All right. Let me answer Joanna's question. Absolutely, positively nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it. It's not for everybody.
I rate that. I rate that when you say it's not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
Because just like some other lifestyles that are getting more prevalent nowadays, right? We don't want to get shut down. People have a tendency to push their agendas on others, right?
Yeah.
And I find that it's not the people out there that are not receptive to certain things that are proactively going out there and saying, I'm not receptive to this. I think people who have a certain lifestyle that they want to normalize, I think they... That one.
Nah, man, good.
Wait,
Do you think?
I don't want that? Okay. So I think they have something to look at, because I've realized that too. People want to normalize for them thing, you know, right? And when they want to normalize for them thing, then the pressure is put on you. I don't think the people who are, is a perfect example is almost like Christians and non-Christians. I don't see non-Christians out here running around trying to tell everybody not to believe.
Right.
But Christians are going at them, telling them to believe.
Right.
It's the same thing with these lifestyles or whatever the case may be. The people who are chilling, minding their business, I don't think they're really coming to knocking on people's door saying, yo, unless you're the neighbor. You know what I mean? And some strange stuff start going on. But to, John, the question was answered that he's not saying that that there's anything wrong with having a monogamous relationship, and that I got to rate and respect. Suzette said, "Love it. 4 agreements." Ed said, "The game is to be sold and not to be told." Who wrote the book, A Man or Woman? And that's the thing about these books, too, you know. Anything you want to justify,
put in a book.
There's a book for it. You know what I mean? Anything you want to justify, there is a book for it at Barnes and Nobles, right? Julian says, yes.
I learned some things in a book at Barnes and Noble, you see, man.
So Julian, back up my thing there. Julian said, yes, Stu, you went Shakespeare on us. So I wasn't making this up, right? Don't trust nobody.
Dost thou not know?
Yeah, dost thou not know, right? Ed said, never trust a guy who speaks properly, right? Coach, large up yourself. Large up yourself. What up, Mel? Yo. Listen, Stewie, we went... Amen. Oh, snap.
What Tracy say?
Tracy says, Stewie, we went to college together. Remember the circle. Yo, guess who me realize who Tracy is? Guess who Tracy is? Tracy is the girl that you like that run off with old boy, right?
Tracy is my girl.
Tracy's the chick you got a crush on that ran off with old boy.
All right, so now my man Tracy have a different relationship.
But let me ask you this. Coming back to, because these relationships are out there, so we're coming back into the stratosphere, right?
All right.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like, okay, you are from the same places we are. We grew up in the same ideology and whatever the case may be. As we grow older and we learn other things, we get exposed to other things. And we may look at things differently and see things differently, i.e. these poly relationships, right?
Cool.
When you're dating, as a dating person, how responsive, if we're being honest, have the people you've been dating been to this lifestyle?
I'm sorry, I was reading Jonah.
Jonah said, I understand.
Trying to keep us straight, please.
Kevin, you read too much. Ed said, Jonah said, I understand it's not for everybody, but honestly, there are too many old-ass men and women out seeing running around like them hot. Jonah, that's another show. It's another show. All right? Leave Floozy Jenkins alone. Floozy Jenkins ain't got nothing to do with this. All right? Floozy ain't got nothing to do with this.
Leave Flo alone.
That's a different show. That's a different show, John Marie. That's a different show. All right? So, how many...
Yeah.
We live in the real world. Mm-hmm. So, by that I mean, the people you live around there, grow and, you know, that's the real world. But within that real world are other things, other pockets of things, right? Mm-hmm. That sometimes that exists right in front of us and we don't know.
Right.
Right? Living this way and this kind of interest and whatever the case may be, how has that been received by folks you've been dating or been involved with? Have they been receptive to that?
Some have. I've in fact, I was reasoning with this one person recently, and she was saying to me, you know, a few years ago I was dating this guy and he came to me and said, boy, you know, I want you to be my second wife.
Okay, hold up. Back up.
Like,
Rewind. Wait is that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Drop it. No, my need said. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He said, you know, I want you to be my second wife.
The dude said that to
her.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go again.
And I was like, huh. So, people out there in the streets making these kind of requests. I said, so, you know, how did that work out for you? You know, how did you take it? And she was like, I had to stop and think about it. Was that what I wanted to do? And this was the first person that I had spoken with who never claimed to be polyamorous. That said, I would have to think about what I want from that relationship to decide. It wasn't it goes without saying. Hell no, I'm not going to do that. First woman in all my 20 plus years on this.
I'm just saying, never trust a brother that quotes Shakespeare. Yeah, go ahead.
But there are not many people, and I'm gonna remove the gender now, that would actually stop and think about it. And I guess because, like you said when we started, people generally know what they want, right?
I'd like to think. I'm sure everybody have their different reasons why they couldn't do stuff like that, right? I've got my own reasons why I couldn't do that, right? And I'm sure everybody's reasons vary, right? Melly said 20 plus. Get that discount at the Sizzler,
Jonah, leave my talk alone.
Leave my talk. Discount at the Sizzler, boy. But here's what I have found. And I think there's a reason for this. Like I mentioned, I know those 3 people who are involved in this. They say it's polygamy, right?
I don't know why they.
But I say it's an open relationship, right? But hey, I'm not the expert. So I know those 3 people, right? Ultimately makes it 6 plus, right? Because a couple's and then them adventure out, octopus, prehensibility, right? So, but most of the times when I hear somebody sit down and try to convince me of polyamory, right, or polygamy, they are never involved in polygamous relationships. They're normally single folks, right? So here's what happened now, and this is just my experience. It's always some single person, male or female, mostly male, right? One female, Suzette, right?
Well, you're not calling name.
But we're not calling name. But majority of them are male. They're generally not involved in it. Right? Not involved in it, and they're generally single. I'm no psychiatrist, right? But here's what I get from that. It's people that have a fantasy that they want to live out, that they think is dope, right? They see it over there and it is dope, right? Yo, like Chris Rock said, 2 chicks, 4 boobs, that's great, right?
Right.
So you talk about so 4 girls, 8, that's great, right? That's the fantasy. But why is it that the dudes that always mention this to me are never over there living that lifestyle, right? They're always single dudes that sound like they're just salivating at this kind of thing, right? And then, and I'm just playing, Suzette is not the only female. There's another female that harps on this a lot, right? But she's single. Right? And she's not a part of a poly relationship.
Right,
which is, if you believe in it and subscribe to it that more, why you not in it? Right? Which to me, I'd like to find out, like I said, I think I know why the fellas are. It's just fantasy land, right? And of course, a nice way to pad up cheating. If I got a girl and I got a couple on the side or whatever the case may be, and I tell you that I got this is my lifestyle, then it might be an easier sell, and I'm selling it to myself. Then I'm gonna sell it to you because I'm more convinced. But from the female standpoint, I the 2 that I've seen again, and I don't know Suzette's relationship status, but she a player. But the other one is single, first of all, not in the poly relationship, which ultimately almost says to me too that it is highly likely that there's some fantasy land in there too, and that is something that they too could not necessarily live, right? Because even when I asked you before about the dudes them, right? The response to that is not the same as as how you started it off talking about the women, right? The reception to that is and the acknowledgement of a man with multiple women is a lot different. It's like, okay, that's bliss. That's a menage a trois. But this is a train over. If it's a bunch of dudes, then
no. But this is what I'm saying. Okay. What I say about if my woman come to me and say, "Hey, Trevor, Steve, black her," it's the same thing. It's how you approach a relationship. This is relationship 101 in Kevin's studio.
Let's take us there. Because that's
right?
I ain't got the visa. Take us to Kevin's studio, right?
Because this is how Kevin do relationship.
Talk to me about Kevin's relationship. Because two girls want there with Kevin right now.
Two girls want there with me. I'm going to sit down and I'll ever go have a discussion. Okay. So Jennifer Charles want to link me. And Keisha Gay want to link me. And Patrice want to link me. And Trace take notes. Love you, Tracy.
Tracy, baby. Tracy.
But you know, if this is the situation, okay, let's have a discussion.
Right.
And this is where, since my
Suzette gonna call me name. Suzette, me now stop calling your name. Me now stop, because as a matter of fact, I'm gonna change the show name to the Suzette Show. Go ahead, Kevin.
Read into that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we sit down and we have a discussion. And this is how, since my last relationship, I've decided to approach any other relationship. And it started with my last relationship.
How we have decided to approach? I didn't get that part.
We sit down, we talk. We're having a discussion. Yo, so you want me and you? Well, I have Keish over here. So,
but what if you don't have Keish?
We're going to go talk too. If I don't have Keish,
because you just said let's take it to the reality. You say you're single at the moment. You're single.
All right, cool. So you want a bamba? You want to roll with the big boy?
No, I'm just saying.
All right, let's talk. Just know, say, if a Keish come out to the kitchen and say, yo, I kind of like give a link, you know. That's okay. Meet Keish. But you're going to meet Keish after I'm going to tell you, say, hey, Keish over here, so give me a talk. Yeah. And I make sure I'm looking straight into the camera so that whoever you are out there looking to embark on this journey.
With the stew man.
Understand.
For sure.
I'm not doing it because Joanna was Wait, that one day didn't mean for drop.
Yep. Joanna Marie said, yes, it's a fantasy. You're right, G. Ed said, men always talking that crap. Susan says, so why a man can't have fantasy and not a woman? That's what I'm saying, though. The men have the fantasy, Susan. But the thing is, the woman, them have it too, you know. It's a lot of times, again, it's a straight up fantasy. Because like I said, those women that I'm speaking of, they're not in the relationship. If it is so appealing and it is all that, then why you ain't rolling the door with your 5 people too? Right. So and when they asked, you're saying you're single. So that means what? You're ashamed of it, right? So I don't hear anybody loading up the thing, you know what I'm saying, and saying that's what it is. But everybody is embracing of it. So it's the fantasy, right? My thing pretty much is this too: is I think the first person one needs to speak to about these poly relationships is your accountant, straight up. I kid you not.
Can your account handle it?
Can your account handle this situation? Right.
Well, here's the other side of a polyamorous relationship that people fail to understand. Just like how in a monogamous relationship you have 2 individuals coming together and building uniting their funds, pooling their resources together. Now you have 3 people coming together, pooling their resources together.
Yeah, but guess what the difference with the 3? You make 150, he make 150, she make 150, that dude make 35. Right? Problems. Problems. I'm just saying problems.
So when in a monogamous relationship, when you make 150 and she make 335, how would that go?
It is what it is. But I'm just saying.
So why it's different in a
because
polyamorous
it's just the 2 of us right now. What I'm saying pretty much is this. You got 4 people right about now. Everybody carrying their weight. If me and her in that situation, now bear in mind, if me make 150 and she make 3 and change, it doesn't mean I'm not going good for myself. She's doing better than me. We can afford this madness right here. You know,
right.
the Costco box of condoms, we can afford that joint, right?
Right.
The penicillin that we gonna need for this kind of madness, we can afford that mess, right?
Okay.
The vaginal rejuvenation, we can afford this mess, right?
Cool.
All right, all that stuff we can afford. The penal imp, we can afford all that, right? But a 5 ounce and all. Oh, there's always one dude. You ever have a roommate situation? There's always one dude that can't come up with the rent at the end of the month, right? So there's always that dude or that person who ain't carrying their weight. That's a recipe for disaster.
It's no different from a monogamous relationship, though.
Exactly. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But what I'm saying pretty much is this: 2 lanes are problems, right? You're adding some lanes are problems. If it's such a challenge for 2 people for coexist, you have to say you just made it easier with 5 and 6. I don't know. Somebody dead by the end of the year. I'm just saying. So, let's see here.
Can't you, John?
Lawrence says, been there, seen it work well. Western U.S. culture never grew into that custom overall. Yo, I'm going to tell you something. Lars on pimping. Lars, I play out in these streets.
Well,
Lars, I play real.
Lars, what Lars is one, experienced.
What Lars is the author of one of these damn books. That's all that is. That's all that is. Selling these books.
And it's not that she has lived it per se. That because that's not the impression I get from what you just read.
No.
And from hi Lars, how you doing? By the way.
That boy trying to get a free copy of your book.
Hey, Lars.
Trying to get a free copy.
No, Lars, my friend, man.
But you know what's funny too? Guess what? People always use some far-fetched things to justify things. And people say, boy, well, that's how they did it in Africa. How you know? You never been to Africa before, right? That's what people do when they want to justify. But that's how they did it in the motherland. Did you go to the motherland? Nah, but that's how they did it in the motherland, though, right? Just because who you heard talk about it, Pac? No, Joanna said...
Don't try that with Lars, though. She's going to tell the story of when she went.
Yeah, I love me some Lars, man. Lars is dope.
All right.
Joanna said, me sorry, me happy with me one man. Can barely handle... Jesus Christ. Can barely handle one, much less 2. Bottom line, to live that lifestyle, you better have enough money to go a doctor and get your and wine and dine unless you make sure.
So, hold on. All right, let's talk about the medical side. Let's talk about it real quick. Real quick. It's like a shot. Here how short it is. When in a monogamous relationship, how many people just, when they meet and they go out on a date, they say, hey, when did you last get tested? I know one girl who has asked that question.
Okay. Like I said, that to me is no different from the motherland comment. So here's the thing. I feel you, right? I feel you. But let's say you did not ask a question and you engaged in a relationship. It was a risky thing. First of all, it's a dumbass question because if the person tells you yes, are you going to ask for the paperwork? No. More than likely you ain't, right? And the level of disappointment is based on how fine she is. But that's a different conversation, right? She really, really fine. You'll be like, all right, girl, I trust you, right? But the thing is, you have one person for worry about in that situation. Now you add a couple more to the mix. You're talking about the 6 degrees of separation, right? So it's a situation where if you can mess with one person who can mess with one person, who can mess with one person who can bring something home, they just added a bunch more. But again, that's a total. We ain't talking STDs over here, all right? If you in a polyamorous relationship, your insurance should be good. Right? You got a will. So the thing is, so Joanna said she can only deal with one man. Don't knock it till you try it. If you ask the poly guy right here, Kevin Price, don't knock it till you try it, baby. Don't knock it till you try it, right? Lawrence said, you so right. Ed says, now you a pimp. Joanna said, honestly, Kev and G, condoms, them no use that. Beer back them say. Joanna Murray.
You better know who she Who them people? Who them?
But I feel, but here's the thing.
Who them?
She has a point, because here's the biggest point Joanna Marie has. Two people in a relationship that are not married, right? You're cohabitating, because this whole polyamory thing you're talking about, we took it to the level of cohabitation, right? And in this case, and a co is right? And that's something there, right? So now if two people are cohabitating, comfort sets in real fast, unprotected sex sets in real fast. That's how we end up with these kids, right?
Right.
If the 5 on in a relationship like that too, the comfort level is gonna come just as fast, and it's just slanging, right? Condoms ain't gonna be in there. The box, a Costco size condom, they're gonna be there, but you're gonna notice that they ain't really getting the levels now move, right? Let me see here. Suzette, a stew is good meal, you know. When everything cooked down together and make a delicious meal. So I talk about, you say, Suzette? Suzette, your pastor. Go talk to your pastor.
Yeah, boy.
Suzette, go call up your pastor here.
I can read between those lines.
Joanna Murray said, Kevin understand court and order. Loris been to Africa, never did it. Went there in 1971 with my hubby.
What did I tell you?
We're not taking no more information for Loris.
What did I tell you?
No proof. No proof. No proof, Loris. No proof. All right? Walking by the store and smelling the aroma of the bakery doesn't mean that the cake is good. No proof, Loris. Here I am thinking that you had some concrete evidence and you lived this lifestyle for a summer, but you did not. No proof. Still love you though. Julian said, but if so many people are involved in the relationship like any other company, before a new employee is hired, you have to look at them resume and financial information and the background check to make sure they can afford to be in that kind of relationship. I ain't mad at that, Julian Lee. But you're welcome, Kevin. It just screams to me that when them said too much cooking in the kitchen, and this actually is literal, right? It's a bunch of mofos in the kitchen, right? So, again, not knocking the poly thing for those who it's meant to be for. Do your thing, right? I'm just saying, you tell me how much of it is legit versus how much it is just some dude's way of trying to justify having a couple of chicks on the side. Because, again, none of the dudes that I've spoken to, you've given me a scientific explanation earlier that did not necessarily answer the question. But how many dudes you know that are cool with the poly situation being multiple men? Not very many, if any.
Do I know any? I can't say that I haven't met any.
Are you, what up now? Well, put yourself in the position, player. Are you cool with it?
Yeah. And true story. Was with someone in a relationship, and I had asked, let's talk fantasies. What's your fantasy? And she said, 2 guys. And I said, oh, okay, find a guy.
Oh, you told her to find a guy?
Yeah.
I thought you would have been like, all right, I'll get the homie.
I said, find a guy. Why would I say find a guy?
You tell me.
It has to be someone that she's comfortable with. She already comfortable with me.
Let me tell something, Kevin.
Hold on. Oh.
No,
my
go ahead.
My thing.
Go ahead.
My thing.
Go ahead, player.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
player. So she had to be comfortable with that person. Now, it didn't happen. But for me, the process of that happening would be find the guy. Okay, let's talk.
Why you need to talk for?
Why not? So she find the guy. Okay, so you found the guy. What do you want to do with this guy? How do you want this to go down? Do you want it to be where you want someone in the room just to watch? Do you want active participation of all parties involved? Because the fantasy was given as just, oh, I want to be with 2 guys. What do you mean by that? Because I don't know what she means by that.
I mean, again, here's the deal. All right, Jano, here's the thing. I think we complicating stuff. If somebody says she want 2 man, it's not for one to sit and observe, right? It's not. Then she would say, then she would specify that. If she says she want 2 man, She's not saying she wanted the one man to come sit and observe. You're a complicated thing because you're already not compatible with the other brother, right? First of all, she choosing old boy, right? You don't know nothing about old boy. She's the one that wanted it. Ain't your stuff. You just getting a little, you just getting a piece, right? So you're not supposed to be in on the questionnaire. You're supposed to just show up, right? So, because this is not your woman according to what you're saying.
I said it was someone that I was with. I was in a relationship with.
Oh, you were in a relationship?
Yeah.
And she said she wanted the other dude?
So I'm using relationship and
she brought black kind of me? Oh, niggity.
She, and we were talking about fantasies.
Hold on, pause. Question for you, and I'm sure it's going to come from the audience here, right? When she said to you...
I shouldn't say that in Queen's English. I shouldn't talk properly when that tell a story.
No, just don't go Shakespeare. We good with that. Just don't go Shakespeare. Right? So here's the thing. So you dating this chick. Bump that. You ain't dating this. This is your girlfriend. Right? Your girlfriend says to you, she has a fantasy of being with another man. Right? Which, truth be told, she might have somebody in mind. Right?
Hey,
the fact that you tell her to go find the man, and she said to you, boy, I don't know anybody. You know what I mean? The fact is, did she call the number like right away?
No.
And say, yo, Cleve. But anyways, the thing is, if the fact that she says she wants another man, could be one of two things. Could be genuinely she want the fantasy of the two men, or it could be one man in the background that lurks, and just in case this man come up some way, shape, or form, this is probably how you're going to squeeze him in right about now. So you squeeze him in. So later on, if something come up, you can say, no, you know him, man, I Cleve. Remember Cleve? Right? So, but nonetheless, the real question is this. After it didn't go down, after she said to you, Kevin, I want to have another dude, and you said, go find the man, did she audition somebody for the concert? No, okay. How long did the relationship last after that? Let's be honest.
It went on a few years after that.
And why did the participant never get brought forward? You told her to go bring the participant. Why it never come to fruition?
She said she was just wanted to stay as a fantasy. And I was like, oh, okay. I've lived my fantasy. I'm pretty much all out of fantasies. Threesome, I've been there, done that.
You're going to the basement in hell. not even the regular rooms. You're going to be in the basement.
Listen.
Nah, I'm just playing. You good, player. Yeah. I know people.
Gasoline drive.
You'll get in. You'll get in.
But this is and this is what I'm saying about communicating in your relationship. You talk about the thing. What it really boiled down to? She wanted someone to watch. That's what it boiled down to. Not necessarily that she wanted to be with someone else.
She wanted an audience?
She just wanted to be seen.
Okay. So my question is this, and again, we're asking for honesty. When she asked for that and the fantasy and the whole nine or whatever, did it change anything for you? And you said she only wanted somebody to watch. When did you discover that that's what she wanted?
No, years after I find out.
But okay, so prior to you finding out she just wanted somebody to watch, you were of the impression she wanted somebody to participate.
When she said it, yeah.
When she said it. Yeah. And you're saying between then and you finding out that she just wanted somebody to watch, which could also be just verbiage too. It could be just, something. Let me try to retract this thing, right? So, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll fix this. Right
now. Did anything, you're saying nothing changed in how you viewed her or anything at all about the relationship?
No.
So that means
in fact, it was a whole lot better because now she was opening up a lot more. Because when I would ask things about what she liked, what she didn't like, and when I got down to the why, because a big thing for me is why. Let's look at the why. People have a tendency to just go, why, that's wicked. Why?
Just wicked.
It's just wicked.
Sometimes I dissect too much, man. The bass bud, okay, whatever, dog.
And if it's a baseline you love, then say that and say that. Like what is your why? And a lot of us don't go down to what is your why. Me, I am the guy that goes down to the what is your why. I am the guy that took up myself and I had questions and went to a therapist. I'm that guy.
Were you banging a therapist?
I wasn't banging the therapist.
I'm just a question. I mean, I'm asking before they asked, all right?
No, I wasn't banging.
Is one of your girls on the side that you call a therapist?
No.
Non-licensed?
No, man.
All she got was a couch? I'm just checking.
Real dude.
I'm just saying. Tracy says, Lord of mercy, I can't take this, Papa Jesus. Tracy also said, boy, I have some questions. I get.
Tracy, you know my number. Just
let
call.
escape to this platform. Tracy, you need to come for the thing one day, all right? Tracy also said,
Tracy too shy.
I am best friend. Tracy said, I'm best friend. It's almost that time to get up out of here. Kevin still got things to do.
I do have a broadcast at 10 p.m.
Laura said, men are okay with, see what I talk about? Laura said, confirm the thing. And if Laura says so, it's facts, gospel. All right, in my book at least. Laura said, men are okay with two women, but not with the women having two men. Heard this from many guys. And that's what I'm saying when I say a lot of time the whole concept of the poly.
It's fantasy.
It's a fantasy, and somebody's trying, and the people who are in it, some people are sold, some people are brought in. But the truth of the matter is this. Again, just from the people who read, it ain't exactly what it is. And again, I can't go by a YouTube thing because that's theatrics. You know what I'm saying? I also don't know if people going through it and not enjoying it are going to say that, because at them lifestyle when them bring on and I'm sure they don't want to tell us boy now work it up the Dalios a bunch of.
I'll tell you this as we wrap up. Because I really got to bounce.
Yeah, man.
I in going to a therapist, before I went to my therapist, I went through a period where I sat down and I questioned myself on certain things. How I did relationships in my younger days, coming forward. What has changed? What has remained constant? And I took these things into my therapist, along with me asking my questions of me. So here comes my therapist asking questions of me. And I took it a step further. And I decided to look into how people interacted with each other. This is why I do one of my shows called Real Talk. How we interact with each other, how we associate. And took it a step further and did social psychology.
Right.
So it all comes back to the why. But the why started with me. So I have to answer my why. So I can come and sit here with G. Cole and G. Cole can ask me, so this dating thing, this relationship thing, how it go? And I can say, all right, it can go so. But it boils down to whatever you two individuals or 3 or 4 individuals in whatever relationship that you're in, however you decide to make it work. And if you don't keep it with you, once you start bringing in other people, and when you get married, I'm pretty sure when the pastor did tell you, if you did marriage counseling, I did marriage counseling when I got married. And the first time, the second time I didn't. But anyway,
I'll feel you.
That's another show. But it was important to be noted to me that, your marriage is you and she. When other people start coming in, now you're going to have problems. Like any other relationship. It is you, the individuals in that core relationship, that everything that happens in that relationship needs to be centered around. The moment other people start coming in and tell you, oh, no, I saw your relationship go. Them not paying on the bills.
But do you think people are doing that?
Of course.
People
Of course.
Because here's the thing. I feel like people will speak on it. Like, we'll have a conversation. But if you and Black and Steven and Trevor and your other chicks, that I would never have a comment about your relationship. I'm asking because it don't exist. So we having a conversation.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't believe in getting in. And to be honest with you, there are some people who are nosy enough. Sometimes your in-laws, your grandma, your whatever the case may be, ain't got no filter to ask whatever the case may be. But for the most part, I don't think that people are going to dive into people's relationship. Just like you've been embracing of other people's poly relationship before it was even a thing for you, right? And Suzette embracing of it before it was a thing or anything like that. I think more likely, whether they subscribe to it or not, you're going to make people do what they do. You may talk some shit behind their back, or you may have some questions. You may think it weird, but I don't think most people are diving into people's relationships like that. So I don't know how much of a big issue that is. As much as I think the issue exists of trying to sell the sauce to the world. Because I do find that from homosexuality to transgender issues to again, poly, which is not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We are at the time right now where people, to religion, we're at the point right now where people aren't just cool with being what they are and who they are. It's not a success if I'm not hammering it down somebody's throat. It's not a success if I'm not convincing you. It's not a success if you're not wearing the t-shirt saying, hey, bought sauce, I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my observation. And again, to each his own. I ain't knocking up all this stuff. I'm just saying, G. Cole, I'm not cool with me and she, right? Sweating right now when yesterday it was somebody else's sweat. I am, it's a little gross to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little gross to me. And that's me trying to put it lightly. Especially since Monday it was somebody else's sweat, Tuesday it was somebody else's sweat, and today it's me. Right? So that part of it is a little gross to me. But nonetheless, DJ Kevin Stew, we
can't just and commenting on how therapist is spelled. Listen, leave the rapist out of this.
Jano, Ed Robinson.
Yo,
ladies and gentlemen, yo, Kevin, give thanks first of all for passing through, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, much appreciated. Blessings.
I appreciate love the invite.
Anytime, fire, and I say that to say, this is obviously can't be the end of it. We gotta have another one. So I know you have to run off and do your show.
Yeah, man.
Do your thing. We're gonna have to follow up. Generally, I do the outro and the whole 9, but I can't. I gotta go rant to my people now.
Right.
For an extra 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, brother, give thanks.
Yes, blessings.
Tell the people again where.
KevinStew.com, 10 p.m. tonight. And, it's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. KevinStew.com is a place to be. All other links can be found by way of KevinStew.com. Go to KevinStew.com. You can watch me live. You can listen to me live.
Mad. Brother, give thanks.
Blessings.
Give thanks. Try to safe, and let you know when part 2 is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Kevin Stew. It's
people.
G-Cool.
If you can be good, if you can be good at it, yeah?
I like that. Therapist told you that too, huh?
That's mine.
That's how you.
Just like how you have acceptance through enlightenment. Mine.
Too deep.
Right.
Too deep. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Kevin Stew. I'm gonna drop this show and phone.
Yeah, what a feeling. Whoa, what a feeling. Yeah, what a feeling. Whoa. She love me right in on me eye and tell me she this a fun time. She giving me the hot sexy love. Long time she awake and me a go on a done time. She giving me the hot sexy love. Tell her say me have a woman and she tell me about time. She giving me the hot sexy love.
Ladies and gentlemen,
me pick her up because tonight is a fun time. She giving me the hot sexy love.
it's called Hot Sexy Love. It's yours truly, G. Cole and the Raps and Kush Band. The album is called Ocho Rios. Tracy Ann. What a feeling.
What a feeling.
That's what I'm talking about. Ed Robinson. Let's go.
She love me right in on me eye and tell me she this a fun time. She giving me the hot sexy love. Long time she awake and me a go on a done time. She giving me the hot sexy love. Tell her say me have a woman and she tell me about time. She giving me the hot sexy love. Ready for me pick her up because.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Kevin Stew.
Giving me the hot sexy love.
Love you, Suzette.
Then hot sexy love.
You know the party don't start until you pass through.
Whatever she had from me tonight, she reveal it. She giving me that hot sexy love. She said tonight she had the doctor, she giving me healing. She giving me that hot sexy love. Now she giving me the loving from the floor to the ceiling. She giving me that hot sexy love. She tell me Gina bother stop because she loving the feeling. She giving me that hot sexy love.
Thank you so much, Julianne.
Then hot sexy love.
Ed, what you say? Yeah, man.
Been so long since I've known you. That's what she said. Been wanting to show you this side of me. You have always been taken. I wait patiently, but now I'm tired of waiting. I just wanna see. I just wanna see. Oh, oh. She love me right in on me eye and tell me she this a fun time. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Long time she a wait on me, I get one I don't time.
Yes, man.
Hot, sexy love. Tell her say me have a woman and she tell me up.
Things hot in these streets.
Sexy love. Ready for me pick her up because tonight is up.
Give thanks, my brother.
Hot, sexy love.
Yes, man.
Then hot, sexy love. Whatever she a had for me tonight, she reveal it. She giving me that hot, sexy love. She said tonight she a the doctor, she giving me healing. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Now she giving me the loving from the floor to the ceiling. She giving me that hot, sexy love. She tell me she no bother stop because she loving the feeling. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Then hot, sexy love. Now it's like 4 in the morning.
Golden.
Baby, it's me.
Oh, cool.
I'm not smiling. Come over, I'm free. Yeah. Don't put it for me. Yeah. Oh, oh. She love me right in my eye and tell me she this a fun time. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Long time she a wait on me, I get one I don't time. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Tell her say me have a woman and she tell me about time. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Ready for me pick her up because tonight is our fun time. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Then hot, sexy love.
It's almost that time. I gotta say thank you all.
Whatever
Clementine, Tracy Ann,
me that hot, sexy love. She said tonight she a the doctor, she giving me healing.
Ed Joanna,
Sexy love. Now
large up DJ Kevin Stu.
to the ceiling. She giving me that hot, sexy love. She tell me she no bother stop because she loving the feeling. She giving me that hot, sexy love. Sexy love. Then hot, sexy love. And we have a brand new tune for your radio station. A boom thing.
Jano G call me sell the woman a stress me no star.
But Loris, you're absolutely right though.
Mad me twin daddy.
I don't know about the fellow accepting these things, man. The ladies, you know what I mean?
Left hard doing a shit.
They want the ladies to accept it, but I don't know.
Kind of still.
Tracy Ann, thank you so much.
Love my own.
John, it's good to have you as always.
Your love it drives me crazy. And you know that you're my baby.
I gotta get up out of here. Just want to say thank y'all so much for rocking.
You keep giving me help.
So glad y'all had a good time. Remember, Homegrown G Code's available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're there.
You always a call me, no pick up my phone. And you know me.
Big up everybody in Radio Land listening in right now.
I'm stressing.
All the people watching on YouTube.
You want me to do it.
People watching on Jamaicas.com.
Love is free.
On the Homegrown G Code platform.
What you want me to do, girl?
Thank y'all a million, man. I appreciate y'all big time, all right?
Yours and you are mine.
Hope, what up?
Oh, girl. Your loving drives me crazy. And you know that you're my baby. Why you keep giving me help? Oh well, no.
Hey, yo.
Get your scented delight. I love it. Trust me.
She said she have a couple things she want to let me know. In every single town, me have a girl I know. And me and Nara come from too far, she let me go. Where she get them thing from, me say I don't know. What is girl I see? I tell me when the girl I pray, I really could have never me and I don't know. What is girl I see? I tell me when the girl I pray, I really could have never me and I don't know.
Girl, your loving drives me crazy.
Large up George Mix.
You know that you're my baby. So why you keep giving me help? No, here we go again. Every day you a search up the cell phone. Who that a call me, who that from me ringtone. What time me leaving, when me coming home. So you always a call me, no pick up the phone. And you know say me working, baby, but you keep on stressing me. What more you want me to do, lady?
Hello world. It is yours truly, G Cole, from Homegrown G Cole. Just want to invite you to the Love Doctor series. We're gonna talk some things.
Love Doctor.
Yep, just what he said.
Yeah, I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby.
You heard what he said. Ha We're gonna talk life, we're gonna talk love, we're gonna talk relationships.
I'm your love doctor. Call me anytime you need me, baby. Just call me anytime.
Yep, call me. Listen, I can't bring old boy back. I can't bring old girl back. I don't know what you did. Maybe it is you. You know you got an attitude sometimes. Grandma always said if you're gonna cop an attitude, make sure you can cook. You gotta balance it out, but your grits is off. You know what I mean? Your rice and peas, it ain't there. Fellas, I'm just saying, sometimes it's y'all be tripping, acting like you're in the man in these streets. I'm the mediator. I'm just devil's advocate. Don't blame me. I can't do nothing more than just hear you out. It's the love doctor, baby.
Damn.